Welcome to Money 101, which deals with understanding the spirit of money. This is day number 4 in the Big Money Mindset Mentorship Program. And today we're going to talk about something very few people ever truly understand. And of all the things that I've ever taught over the years about money, this is one of the most important lessons that I've ever taught about money. I want to recommend that you listen to this program, this particular audio program, not once, maybe twice or 3 times, because I will be saying things that are very, very important. And it is in my attempts to unblock your creative juices, your veins, as it were, for blood to flow into all parts of your brain so that you can understand this complex matter about money. So this thing that people rarely understand is what I want to call in this audio program the spirit of money. Now, most people focus on what I call the letter of money, because there is what is called the spirit of money, then there is the letter of money. Letter as in Letter, letter of money, which is the coins, the notes, the bank balances, or the digits on the screen. Very few people ever stop to ask questions like, what does money respond to? Does money have emotions? What does money respect? And because they never ask these questions, money remains a mystery to them, almost like a living thing that keeps running away, no matter how hard they chase it. But money in itself is not neutral, it's not random. By the way, it's not foolish. It behaves with subtle intelligence. And if you misunderstand its spirit, you can work hard, pray hard, cry hard, and still remain broke. Now, there's a painful truth that we must confront. In many parts of Africa, and I must say this with love and honesty, churches have significantly contributed to poverty. And not because they were evil, but because they were ignorant of this thing called the spirit of money. And when I'm saying Africa, I'm trying to distance myself with specifically Zimbabwe. But I've traveled to a few countries in Africa. Recently, we were attending a business workshop in Nigeria, in Lagos. And right there, the concerns that people were raising, if you were to close your eyes, apart from the accent, you would think that you are listening to Zimbabweans. They are speaking about the same thing, and this actually made it very clear. It enhanced the clarity that I already had, that it's not about who is in power. It's not about the ruling party. It is about how you see things yourself. So churches, pastors, prophets, evangelists, and church leaders, they have contributed to the poverty and the poverty that is rampant in our countries now of Africa, with good intentions, with hearts that are pure, but their teachings were incomplete. So money was downplayed and demonized. It was treated as something unholy and worldly. Statements that have been said or teachings that have come from many pulpits about money were not complete. And you must know that any truth that is not complete becomes as dangerous as a complete lie. So it's like people were taught to reject money subconsciously instead of mastering it. And without realizing it, the church or the pastors directly played into the devil's strategy. It is the devil that has made the church to look at money as if money was a bad thing. It's like it is actually the devil who made pastors to do that. And pastors feel when they are doing that, by accepting this lie of the devil that money is not important, they feel like they are doing God a favor. They are doing God a service. But I want you to pay attention to this. Have you ever realized that no one listens to poor people? No one listens to poor people. And this is in the Bible. The Bible tells us about a man, a poor man, who through his wisdom saved the city, but nobody remembered. Nobody pays attention to poor people. If poverty really was going to make the church to be powerful, to enhance its impact and reach out to the whole world, the devil was going to fight poverty. But if you see the devil is not fighting poverty, it means that poverty is actually playing. It's an own goal that the church is actually scoring here. So once that lie that says money is not important was accepted, everything else followed naturally. So it doesn't matter how holy you are. It doesn't matter how righteous your intentions are. It doesn't matter how correct your message is. Because there are people who keep talking about that they have the correct message, especially some pastors. If you lack resources, your voice is muted. By speaking against money, the pastors have actually silenced the church. They have silenced the church in matters of policy, in matters of education, in matters of healthcare, governance, and culture. So poverty became poverty was now spiritualized and glorified, and suffering was baptized as virtue. Generally, if you see two people, a poor man and a rich man, you are going to almost naturally begin to feel that the one who is poor is holy. But today I want us to break that spell. I want us to separate holiness from poverty. So today we must reclaim the truth, and I want to give you two definitions of money. So I call these definitions the higher level definition of money. It is not those ones that they teach in primary school, whereby they tell you that money is a means of exchange whatsoever. No, this is a higher level definition of money, and I want you to pay much attention. If you're driving, listening to this audio program, I want you to hold on to your steering, because I might say something that is going to knock you off your seat. Because to understand money, we must redefine it, not emotionally, not religiously, but accurately. Okay, here's the first definition. Number one, money is your life. I repeat, your money is your life. Let this sink in. Your money is your life. Listen, when you go to work, perhaps you work in the bank or you work in that corporation, wherever you work, and at the end of the month they pay you. Listen, they're not paying you for your looks. They are not paying you for your kindness or your intentions. They are paying you for your time. You are being paid for your time. That time is not renewable. It is your life. So every hour you spend working is an hour of your existence or your life you will never get back. So when someone pays you after working, what they are really buying is a portion of your life. Very, very important to pay attention to this. So when people are paying you, they are not paying you because you have done something. They are paying you for something that you did within time. And your life is measured in time. Time is the currency of life. When time washes away, life is going with it. So even when you buy food, you are not paying with paper. When you buy a phone, you are not paying with numbers on the screen if it's an eco-cash or bank balance. When you buy clothes, transport, or shelter, you are not paying with currency. Listen, you are paying with hours of your life, because whatever you're using to pay, you traded your life for it. So every time you see money in your hands that you have earned, you are looking at a portion of your life that has been translated into that. This is deep. If you will not understand this particular point, everything else that we discuss or even go on to build in this mentorship program, you will not be able to understand. So if something costs you a certain amount of money, let's say it costs you 1,000, how many hours are you working? How many hours are you spending to raise $1,000? So if it's maybe 40 hours, or it is 2 hours, or it is whatever period, you must know that when you are paying that $1,000, you are paying with a portion of your life which can be measured as something equivalent to the time that you spent earning that money. So you are buying something with your money, with your life. This is why money matters so deeply, whether people admit it or not. This is why 90% of our day is spent thinking about it, or working for it, or worrying about it. Not because we're greedy, but because life requires exchange. So the first definition, this is a higher level of definition of money. Every time you see your money, you are looking at your life that has been transmuted into a different form. Number two, which is a notch higher. Money is not just life, but money is your life in a superior form. Your money is your life presented in a superior form. Listen, my physical form, my physical life is limited. I can only be in one place at a time. You see, I can only help a few people directly myself. If I am to help an orphan, to feed somebody, or to help wash clothes for a blind person, I can only do it maybe a few people. I can only influence those within my reach. But with money, everything changes. Money makes you almost immortal. Money makes you almost to live forever. Money makes you live outside this life of this body. When this body expires, money makes you to be able to be alive. That's why I taught, and I'll be teaching in Harare at a certain church where I've been invited to preach on these things on in February, and I'll be explaining this concept that rich people who are truly rich don't die. So people like the Rockefellers can still influence an election outcome, and yet they're long gone. Not only themselves, there are too many of them that even when they are gone, they continue to influence what happens. So money, in a way, makes your influence to survive you. If you build a school, it requires money, and those schools will outlive you. The hospitals continue healing people and treating people even after the donor is long gone. Money allows your life to echo beyond your lifespan. They're very important. So with money, I can do things beyond the life that I'm going to live on this earth. Second thing, money, I said, is your life presented to you in a superior form. Money, in that sense, makes you almost omnipresent. And pay attention, I'm using the word almost there because I don't want to offend religious people. Money makes you almost omnipresent. With money, you can feed people you've never met. You can educate children in places you have never visited. Yesterday, I was at a certain school here in Harare, and I said, give me some children that need school fees, and I'm going to pay for them. They said, do you want to meet them? I said, no, I don't have to meet them. I don't have to know them. I don't have to know who they are. But with money, I'm able to impact them and educate them far away from my house. With money, you can solve problems in countries you've never stepped in. Money allows your intentions to travel where your body will never be. That is why money is powerful, and that is why ignorance about money is very dangerous. So with money, you can do things. You can almost be omnipresent because you can. I'm teaching my two of my children that are in boarding school far from where I am. And why am I how am I able to do that? It's because of money. All right. Now let me quickly, so that this program doesn't become too long, but this is one of the most comprehensive things that I want to do in this program. I will not do this every time. I want now to look at characteristics of money, how money behaves, because money responds to principles, not emotions. So pay attention. This is the behavior now of money. Number one, money respects those who increase it. It has great respect for anyone who knows how to grow it. But money has deep disdain for anyone who believes the purpose of money is merely spending it. If all you know how to do is consume, money will never stay with you. Spenders might attract income, but builders attract wealth. So money loves or respects stewardship, but it hates waste. If you want money to run away from you, never learn about investment. Never learn how to grow the money. Just know how to spend. Know the brands. Know all those kind of things. At the end of time, and remember, if you will read, if you haven't, I recommend that you get my book from my website, The Old Money Blueprint. You need to read that book because I explain this much more in detail there. Number two, money goes where systems exist. Money does not chase effort. That's why most hard workers never have money, but money chases systems. So where there are systems to save, to invest, to multiply, to protect it, money flows there naturally. Hard work without systems leads to exhaustion, but systems without hard work can lead you to wealth. Very important. Money avoids going to anywhere where a system to multiply it are not there. Money runs away from that place. Number 3, money hates losing value, and therefore it avoids people with a history of diminishing it. Every time money comes to you, if every time money comes to you, it is eaten by debt, dissolves into emergencies, disappears without trace, don't even remember where the money went. If money does that, you must know that money never forgets. So like a beautiful damsel, a beautiful girl, when she is heartbroken, money behaves like her. She turns away and rarely returns. If you are to get her back, you have to really suffer, because she's likely not to come back. This is how money behaves. Now, money wants to be treated as something valuable. It doesn't want to lose its value. Number 4, money cannot be prayed for or entreated by words. I've said this more than enough on social media. Don't waste your time praying for money. Don't waste your time looking for someone to lay hands on you. A windfall might happen as a way of a miracle, but it's not going to stay. At the end of time, we'll see you that you no longer have it. Because remember, in my definitions, I said money is your life. A portion of your life that you have invested your life in something, then you get that. So if money comes after prayer, it is called a windfall. It's a miracle. It's manna. Remember, in the Bible, manna was not meant to be kept, keeping it aside to eat tomorrow. No, it doesn't work like that. So money cannot be entreated by words, by calling it to come. It cannot be prayed into existence. It cannot be begged into submission. Money cannot be manipulated by tears. It responds to systematic actions which impregnates it. So action attracts money. Even in this mentorship program, if all you're going to do is to listen to what I say, and the words that I'm saying are just empty, they are just like the way they are to people who are on social media, nothing is going to change. Everything I'm trying to do here is to provoke you into brutal action. Number 5, money is attracted to money. This is hard truth. Money is attracted by money. So money, it appears as it were, it hates being first. So before money comes to you, it first checks, do you already have some? And if you have some, then it means that you know how to manage what you have well. If you do not have any, money concludes that you do not know how to manage what you have. This is why money avoids poor people, even when they cry tears of blood, or even when they put their lives in danger in trying to get money. You should see how people get into deep, dangerous holes in looking for money to get it. And check them. At the end of their lives, they're still broke. And it doesn't mean that money is evil. It's just because money has this nature of self-preservation. To have money, you must first prove that you can keep money. This is true also just about general life. If you see this guy is 35, he's 40, and he comes to propose love to you, if you are a woman, and then you ask him, say, you are 40 years, are you not married? No, I'm not married. And then you ask, what happened to your marriage? Have you been married? No, I've never been married. Okay, have you been in a relationship? No, I've never been in any relationship. Run for your life. I mean, a woman tells you that she's 40 and she's a virgin. She has no child. She has never fallen in love with anybody. And then you come yourself and then you think that, oh, I found Ndawana Mandara, I got a virgin. Run, my friend. I call that the old virgin syndrome. You should be careful. Money behaves exactly like that. If you do not have money, money will not come. This is the reason why today there are people who have $1 they are not intending to spend in the next 90 days. And that dollar they are working to double it. So the same dollar they have this first week, they're going to have it on the 90th day from today. That's powerful, because that dollar is going to work in some kind of mysterious way, in a supernatural way, whereby other money will look first to see if you have any money, and that dollar is going to serve to give comfort to the money that you are trying to attract. Very, very powerful. Number 6, when money leaves, it takes everything away, everything that is of monetary value. Money carries it away. Money has to, if money is offended, it has to leave its children around you. Money would generally carry everything that is of monetary value, it carries it away. It rarely lives by itself. So you begin to lose opportunities, connections dry up, value disappears. Your marriage, everything. When money goes, it carries away. I think this is why Jesus said, to him who has, more will be given, and to him who does not have, even what he has will be taken away. Money amplifies direction. Number 7, money is always pregnant. Very powerful. Money is always pregnant. This is the truth many people will never understand, that money is always pregnant. So whenever money comes into your hands, it is always carrying potential. It's never empty. Any dollar you have, the same dollar that you have begun to save, the $10, the $50 that you have begun to save, and you're going to be doubling every 7 days, it is not empty. It's pregnant. It's not neutral. It comes with an expectation to reproduce. It's like you buy a goat, and that goat, you bought it pregnant. There's something that I want to call the cruelty of sterility. Because each time money enters your life, it is asking a silent question. What will you allow me to become? Will this person allow me to give birth? Imagine a pregnant woman that comes and now she is living in your house, and she's concerned. She's asking whether you will kill her baby. Many women, what they would do is, if they are to die giving birth, they would request that they themselves die if it gets to that, but they want the child to survive. Money behaves like a pregnant woman. It is always pregnant. So when money is consumed without being given a chance to multiply, when it is spent without ever being invested, it's swallowed by impulse, no intention. When you do that, you are being cruel to money. You are being cruel to money. Now, these things, the reason I'm explaining them in this manner, it is because I want you to understand what I said in the beginning is the spirit of money. So if money perceives you to be cruel, that you, every time you receive her children that are pregnant, you kill this goat which has kids inside. You kill it and you throw the kids away because you can't eat them, you can't consume them. You are cruel, and money will never forget. Every time you earn money and every month you use all of it, nothing remains, nothing is invested. You are very cruel to this thing called money. You are very cruel. And this is why I said yesterday, many people who have money are considered cruel by people because they refuse to be cruel to money. And money will never forget. Look, money resists environments where it is repeatedly aborted. You've been working for 10 years and right now you have nothing significant that you can show. It's because you've been aborting money. And money wants to grow. Money wants to give birth. Money wants to become more than what it arrived as. Money has a deep craving to grow. Money has a deep craving to give birth. It has a deep craving to multiply. And I said it goes in an increased measure to anyone who is able to do that. And it runs away from anybody who does not allow it to give birth. So you know why money avoids some people? It's because every time money comes to you, it dies in consumption. You buy these things. You are impressed by what people say on social media, or what people they shoot videos on social media, standing in front of multiple cars. They post their experiences. So now you want to do the same. So your money is buried in debt. then it produces nothing. If that happens, I am certain it's not going to be long before money begins to avoid you. And it doesn't do this emotionally, it is principally. Because the spirit of money is creation, not destruction. If you want money to remain with you, you must create room for its offspring. And on this note, I want to recommend that you read the book called The Richest Man in Babylon by George S. Clason. Very important book that you must read. And he explains it in very simple terms. He said, allow your money to give birth, but don't eat the children. Allow the children as well to give birth. Now you have the mother, you have the children giving birth. Then you can eat the grandchildren. Very simple. You need to read that book, and you can finish it in one sitting. And by the way, right now, the date today is the 22nd of January in 2026. I've finished 4 books already. I'm reading the 5th one. The number 8, which is the last one. Money hates noise. This is a very powerful principle. Money hates noise. And have you ever noticed something here? They don't play music in banks. Banks are quiet. Investment rooms are calm. Boardrooms are also controlled. They do not play loud music in banks. No. Do you know that even affluent suburbs, you hardly hear of parties, overnight parties? Things are controlled. Poverty and noise, they go hand in hand. Now listen, if ever you see someone who is loud and you think that they are rich and they are loud, like on social media, oh look, I've bought this car, I bought a Ferrari, oh this suit that I'm wearing, this suit, it costs this and much, oh do you know I just bought this, that. They are so loud. Those people, it's either they have just gotten the money, it's new money, or they are faking it. It will not take time before they begin to come down to their level. Noise is the language of poverty. Noise is the language of chaos. It represents impulsiveness. That's why I don't want people who are in this group to become hustlers. And I'm a hustler. I'm a hustler. When you talk about hustle, we are talking about something that is haphazard, hurried, impulsive, and not organized. We want to build things that are sustainable. So noise represents emotional instability, disorder, lack of control. Money does not thrive in all those things. So it avoids drama, loud mouths, uncontrolled emotions. People who talk more than they think, usually money will run away from them. And do you know why rich people move in silence? Read this book, The Old Money Blueprint. It will explain why the rich people move in silence. Usually, the louder a person is about money, the less they are likely to understand it. Money prefers planning, discipline, silence, instead of shouting and excitement, all those kind of things. So don't be impressed by people who come flaunting cash, stacks of cash. Don't be impressed. Don't be impressed. As I finish, money is not evil. It's also not holy. But it is responsive. It responds to mindset, to system, to wisdom. If you want money to stay with you, you must first respect its spirit. This is CHROPHET Muchinezuro. Bye.